This right here is a needle scaler. Some call it a needle gun. That right there just took 30 years of rust off of that bracket I showed in the beginning. If you've never used one of these before, you're about to learn all about it. It is a fantastic tool. Around here, you're going to leave something outside, it's going to rust. That's the deal. You leave something outside, it's going to rust. Not a question. What is the question is how long you're going to fight it with a wire wheel or a flap disc until you find something better. I've got old brackets, I've got rods, I've got mower parts and things. All of it scaled up and ugly. A wire wheel works fine, on flap disc works, but they've got their limits. And I'll show you exactly what those limits are. Now the needle scaler, it's a pneumatic tool. It requires compressed air, little safety switch on here. And this particular one has 2, 4, 6, 8, it's got 12 needles on here. And they reciprocate back and forth. It's spring pulls it back, air pressure pushes it out, spring pulls it back. That's where you get that reciprocating action. Like any pneumatic tool, you want to make sure before you use it, you want to put a few drops of oil in here, specifically air tool lubricant. Put a few drops of oil in there and it'll extend the life. These needles won't last forever. They're going to eventually wear out. They're made of a manganese steel, so they're real hard and they're going to last a long time, but they will eventually wear out. They could break, but that's not a problem. You can go on Amazon or some other places and get the replacement needles. See, oh, here's the plunger, sits down in there. Every time you pull the handle, it comes out and back and forth. There is also, here's the needles themselves, and there's the spring that drives it back in when the air releases. To change the needles, you just unscrew it like I just did, and they just pop right out. You can get, I think the last time I looked, they were about, you get a pack of 30 of them or so for about 10 bucks. I mean, they're dirt cheap, so consider it a consumable that you want to replace from time to time. The whole tool itself, I think I only paid 35 bucks on it, and it was on Amazon Prime Day. I'll put a link in the description below if you want to pick one up. They're dirt cheap. Now you can get the electric ones where you don't need an air compressor if you've got deep pockets, because those things are 200 or 300 bucks a piece, and they don't work any better than this. The big advantage to the electric is, well, it's electric. You don't have a loud compressor running in the background. Now, if you have one of those SDS air hammers, you can get attachments where you take your SDS drill out and you can put the impact adapter on there. You can get those for, I think I've seen the adapters go for about 25, 30 bucks, somewhere in that range. So about the same price, but with the SDS hammer, they're generally electric. So right there, if you've already got one, you've already spent the money for the electric hammer, another 25 bucks and you've got your tool. Love this thing. It's one of my favorite tools. I first learned about these when I was in the Navy, because pretty much when you came on board the ship, you were issued one. Because when we're running, rust never sleeps, as we say, and the deck, you get bubbles and everything under the paint, and it bubbles up and rust, and you got to get in there and chip away with these, and it cleans up all that rust, cleans up all that old paint, peels that paint off, does a fantastic job. So there was at least 3 or 4 guys a day running things on the deck. Now, all you need to run this is an air compressor. Pretty much any standard air compressor is going to work. As long as you can get up to about 90 PSI and probably 4 CFM will be fine. If you got a smaller air compressor than that, yeah, it's going to kick on faster if you're doing a lot of it. But I tell you, this thing does some great work. It's worth it. The other great thing I love about this is you can get into areas that you cannot get with a wire brush or a flap disc or anything like that. And I'm going to show you that here in a second. Go back to this piece here. This is from an old railroad component, I think, which is, who knows, probably 40, 50 years old, outside all the time. I'm going to hit it right here and just see how long it takes. Oh, that didn't take long. How long does it take? Not about that long. All right, let's try it again. In focus here. There you go. You don't have to put a lot of pressure. You're letting the reciprocating action, the hammering action, do the work for you. So you don't have to really push. In fact, pushing on it is going to reduce reciprocation and reduce the effectiveness. So just kind of let it in there. Basically, let the tool do the work. No pressure, just let the weight of the tool do it. You're just going to guide it and keep it on point. All right. Look at that. Now, is it as bright and shiny as if I used a wire brush? No, but I've got every bit of that surface rust and scale off of there. That's what it looked like. That's what it looks like now. All right. Now, wire wheels have their place on flat surfaces, easy to reach areas. But when you get inside of areas, no, or you get in tight spots like this here, it really can't do that good of a job. And if it's very pitted, it's not, the wire brush just runs across the surface. It can't get down into the pits like the needle scaler does. It's a wire brush. Do that with a wire brush. Wire brush side, needle scaler side. And you see a lot of that rust that was down inside of there is gone. and work on it some more, but you get the idea. See how pitted this is? Watch this. Something I want to mention here is that this sucker is loud. You definitely want to wear some hearing protection. Yeah, just wear some hearing protection. All that surface rust gone. There might still be a little bit down in here, but all that heavy scale's gone now. We're down to the base metal. I have a big problem with mud daubers getting into small holes, so I put this cap on here to keep the mud daubers out of my fittings. The fitting you see, I printed on my 3D printer. So if you're interested in the file for that to make your own, if you want to 3D print them, send me a DM. Okay, this here you're going to see the most drastic effect of rust removal. I mean, this thing just eats through that rust. You saw how nasty it looked, and after just a few seconds we're down to bare metal. Now this little bench vise that I'm working on right now, I think I'll make a future video on this one where I'm going to take it completely apart and powder coat it, get it repaired and refurbished completely. So stay tuned and keep an eye out. Like and subscribe, and we'll see a future video on this one. Now this needle scaler, it should have a home in every shop. If you do welding, you do refinishing. As you can see, I'm not shy to use my grinders and flat disc, but they have their place. Where does this? This doesn't get everything all nice and super shiny. It does get a damn good job of getting every bit of that rust off. But if you're going to get down to the shiny, bright white metal, then you need your flap disc, or your grinders, or your Brillo disc, and so forth. But this will get most of that majority off and get into spots, as you can see, spots you can't reach with any other tool. So yeah, that's if you've used one of these before, let me know down in the comments. If you have any other questions, leave me a comment. Okay. Okay. I had a nice script and everything all written out to go by, but I couldn't follow it. I just had a last few things to say about the needle scaler. It's fantastic for hard to reach places, for deep crevices, for removing paint, for scale, that sort of thing. Places where you can't reach with the wire brush. If you can use a wire brush or a die grinder, go for it. It's going to give you a much better finish. It's probably faster. But in those times when you can't really get in there and reach it, or it's really thick, crusty rust and paint that is going to clog up your disc, then use a needle gun. That hammering action is going to pop that rust and paint right off, whereas it's going to just clog up a flap disc and reduce the life of it, and you're changing your flap disc more frequent. You do need an air compressor, of course, and the air compressor's got to be able to put out 90 psi, 4 or 5 CFM roughly. And as you can hear, even with the limited use I was using, my air compressor was kicking on about every 7 or 8 minutes of use. So there's that. The tool itself is relatively cheap. I think, like I said, I think I paid like 30 bucks for mine. It was on sale about 2 years ago. I just looked on Amazon today, and I'll leave a link below for the one that I've got if you want. I'd appreciate it. My affiliate link is below for the needle gun and the replacement needles. Like I said, I paid 30 bucks. The one I looked on today was $39 and change. So they haven't really gone up very much. The needles, I think I haven't bought a pack. Actually, I haven't bought them yet. I haven't needed to. I've had that needle gun for 2 years, and I use the hell out of it, and I still haven't replaced the needles. But just so you know, if you do have to replace them, they are replaceable. Let's see. What else? Replacement needles. Yeah, I looked online today. You get a pack of 40 of those for 10 bucks. So, and the other thing is, needle guns, you saw the one I have is a straight line barrel. And they also come in pistol grip. So you can get it. It's up to you. You want the better control with a pistol grip, or go with the straight like I had. There are electric versions, like I was saying. There's several $100s, and it's basically a impact drill. Like, I don't know where mine is. I think it's in that box right there. But that's an SDS rotary drill. And they do make adapters that can go on a rotary drill that will behave like a needle gun. But that's heavy. Man, that thing probably weighs 5 times as much as the gun it does itself. So it depends on what you're doing. If you're out there and you're having a needle gun, a bunch of rust off an old D9 Caterpillar, yeah, get the heavy duty one. And it's electric, so you don't have to worry about the compressor. I think that was about it. So yeah, one last thing. I've started watching a YouTube channel, Make It Custom. Guy's name is Carl Fisher. Japan's Customs or something like that. I love his techniques and I love his videos, so shout out to Carl. And I've been watching his videos because I've started doing a little bit of sheet metal work. And I got thinking today, wait a minute, this is like a hammer. I could use this as a metal expander. Instead of, if I've got an area that I've got to bring the metal back out, and maybe if I use this, I'm going to try that. I'm going to experiment, play around, get good at it. If it works or not, I'll let you know. I'll make a video about that in the future. And let's see. I think that's it. So thanks for watching. Leave a comment below if you would, please. And I think this video's up next for you. Appreciate you. Take care.